So, obviously, the Indiana Fever have Caitlin Clark as their point guard. Their backup last season, Erica Wheeler, might be on the team, but if she's on the team, it should literally be in a Sid Colson role. Like, you might play some games, you might not play other games, but just, be an absolute elite. Be an absolute elite glue guy. Be a great player. But the actual who should be backup point guard, and I cannot believe Christy Sides nearly ruined her career. Just like the worst part is that if this team coming into next season had Celeste Taylor is not that much worse of a basketball player than Lexi Hull, and she's locked down. Like, Celeste Taylor is a perfect player for the Fever. Obviously, I could see her likely going back to the Mercury, but if she ends up being, I don't know what the story is with her as far as like her free agency status. I would look to go for Celeste Taylor again, get her back, even if it ends up being an overpay. But like, they cut Celeste Taylor to still pay her for no reason, just because Christy Sides wouldn't play her, and Lynn Dunn might be one of the worst basketball executives in the history of the sport. But what Grace Berger is doing in Turkey is incredible. Like, Grace Berger is absolute. Like, just looking at how she's playing. She's a point guard. She's out here with post footwork. She was unbelievable at Indiana. There's a reason she was the 7th pick in the draft. She was one of the best 3-point shooters in the WNBA as a rookie. And then she just randomly got benched one game. She missed a couple of free throws and got benched again. And if you're just looking at her overall game, she's an elite passer. And like, she's not playing for one of the better teams in Turkey, but they're very much overperforming purely because of what Grace Berger can do. She's an elite mid-range shooter, and she's like 6'1". She is everything a team, the backup to Caitlin Clark, needs to be. And she can play at the 1 or the 2. That's the biggest thing, is like, you've got to be capable. If you want to be the backup point guard for the team and not play 5 minutes a game, you've got to be capable of playing 1, 2, and potentially the 3 if you are on with Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark. And Grace Berger can do all of that. She's like legitimately, like, I think she's listed as 6 foot. She looks taller than Caitlin Clark. I've seen them beside each other. She is legit 6 foot tall. She's still on her rookie deal for 2 more years. I've got her for 2 more years on a rookie deal. And Grace Berger could legitimately be the best backup point guard in the WNBA outside of maybe Jade Melbourne next year. So if we want to look at WNBA backup point guards, like, the backup point guard position is an extremely weak position. I'm saying this with the assumption the Sky get Courtney Vandersloot. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Like, the Sky could very well get Vandersloot. But Natisha Heidemann, Gunner, the team was so much worse when she was on the floor. She was a big negative, but again, she did step up in big games. I think Grace Berger can be better than her. The Connecticut Sun, I don't think, had a backup point guard. Alyssa Thomas. Like, she basically ran the show for the 40 minutes. The Liberty Sloot, maybe better. The Seattle Storm, I don't remember even having a. Sammy Whitcomb, Grace Berger is better. The Ace of Sydney Colson, Grace Berger is better. The Mercury was Celeste Taylor, who's a hell of a player, but Grace Berger is better. The Atlanta Dream, I don't even know. It was Crystal Dangerfield for a while, but I don't even know who their backup point guard was. The Mystics, Jade Melbourne, may be better. Jade Melbourne's in the same mold, though. Chicago Sky, who's their backup point guard last year? Dana Evans. Give me Grace Berger of Dana Evans, even though I rate Dana Evans a lot more highly than some people do. The Dallas Wings, Uzun. In fairness, Uzun was pretty decent. You might go for Uzun as one of the best backup point guards in W. But, and in the LA Sparks, I don't even know who their point guards were. Like, so many. They just went through so many. They ended the season with the 2 hardship point guards. Odyssey Sims and Odyssey Sims and Crystal Dangerfield. Even though, like, Odyssey Sims, someone's got to pick up Odyssey Sims. I'm sorry, she's a starting level point guard in the WNBA. But obviously shouldn't be the Fever at this stage. But it's mad what Christy Sides did by benching. Like, what we've seen from Celeste Taylor at Phoenix is exactly what the team needs. She benched Celeste Taylor. Like, we can't forget, up till this point in the season when they were struggling, Lexi Hull was getting DNPs, Celeste Taylor played like 8 minutes on the season, and Grace Berger was getting DNPs. And we were watching Erica Wheeler start games. We were watching Katie Lou start. We were watching Christy Wallace start games. And you had arguably the 3 best bench players on the team. Because I put them all above Damaris Dantas. That's just my opinion. I think they're the 3 best bench players in the team, getting DNPs at the time. Like, Sai's terrible for not letting her play. What if I told you she didn't have 1 start? It's not even about having a start. She's probably not going to start next season because Caitlin Clark. But just, she is one of the best. She's one of the better bench players in the W. But, like, she was one of the better backup point guards in her rookie year. She only averaged, like, 5 a game. But in the WNBA, to considering, like, that's good for a backup point guard who isn't just chucking while shooting 40-something% from 3. Christy Sides, it will not be well for you. Free Grace. Like, if the Fever... I don't see a situation where what's her name? Where Stephanie White does not play Grace Berger. And I also don't see a situation where if Grace Berger was not protected, that she would be gone. Like, she would have been taken by the Golden State Valkyries 100% if she wasn't protected. So I think that's probably why they let Temi Fagbenle go. But at the same time, I do want to absolutely stand by the fact that they might have kept her to trade her for somebody. Like, if you are the Dallas Wings and you have a choice of one player, Satu Sabli or Nalissa Smith or Grace Berger, if you are smart, you're taking Grace Berger. Grace Berger is better than Nalissa Smith, and I will stand by that. Like, genuinely, like, Grace Berger, if we're talking about best players in the Fever, it is Caitlin Clark 1, Aaliyah Boston 2, Kelsey Mitchell 3. And then after that, like, there is a non-0% chance that Grace Berger is the 4th best player on this team. Like, with who they currently have. I think she's better than Dantas. I like Lexi Hull as a player. I really do. But I don't, like... Yeah, let's put Lexi Hull there. But I think Grace Berger especially with the way the game's going. If you asked with the way the WNBA plays today, on any other team, Nalissa Smith might be a better player. But with the fact teams are looking to play more up-tempo, teams are looking to play more of a modern basketball style. Less back to the basket bigs, more running, more through the guards, and we're seeing it in college. Like, yeah, UCLA have Lauren Betts, but they also have Kiki Rice. They also have, like, the likes of Janiah Barker. They've got players. They got hoopers. And then whatever about even USC, they've got Kiki Iriafen, but obviously they run through Juju. You've got Notre Dame, who might win it all, who just have said, screw post players. We're just going through everything's going through our 3 guards. But yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That's pretty much it. And it is going to be a big season, in my opinion, for Grace Berger. Like, I don't see how she doesn't end up as one of the best backup point guards in WNBA. Like, she's been playing as one of the best players in the Turkish league this year, and she does everything. She passes, she defends a bit. Not a lockdown defender, but a better defender than, like, the likes of Caitlin. And I just realized I've frozen. There we go. Better defender than the likes of Caitlin. Better defender than Kelsey Mitchell. She's got the length. She can shoot the 3. She can shoot the 2. She can attack the basket. She's strong. There's no real flaws in Grace Berger's game. And especially with the way things are going for modern basketball. It's like, she's the perfect player, and the Fever do not trade her. Like, I'm sorry, I would take literally anybody. Instead of giving up 8 Grace Berger and Nalissa Smith for Satu, I'm not joking when I say this. I would literally take, if you could get off Nalissa Smith, the ideal scenario would be getting off Nalissa Smith to take the salary dump from Washington for an Ariel Atkins, or even a Steph Dolson, even taking a bad contract with Steph Dolson, who becomes the best backup center in the W. If you get Steph Dolson, then you probably have to get off Dantas, and you can try, a team will take Dantas for something, make that type of a swap. And then you've got off Nalissa Smith, you use the 8th pick on an Anissa Morrow, or if Anissa Morrow's gone and Citron's gone, you get an Aisha Sivka, who 3 years down the line is going to be the perfect player to have on the team. A 6'4" sniper who plays defense, a perfect player. And then keeping Grace Berger on the team and having that 8th pick. I don't think it's more valuable than Satu, but I think it's a similar value. And I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to the team with, like, I was kind of gone off Satu and seeing how well Citron and seeing how well thing we're playing, how well Anissa Mara we're playing. But it is a tough one, especially if Satu's goal is really to go to the Liberty and she just strings Indiana along for the ride for 1 year, becomes an unrestricted free agent, and just goes, nah, I'm going to Liberty. Because that's a possibility. But anyway, I'll see you guys.